Welcome, everyone, to Young at Heart, session number 122. I'm Father James DeLucio with the Paulist Fathers, offering nursery rhymes, stories, songs, Mother Goose, Aesop's fables, nonsense, and other pieces of literature to keep us adults all young at heart. Today I'm continuing with part 3 of Beauty and the Beast, with the reminder that the text that I'm reading from is the oldest extant version of the story in English. So it goes back to the early 1800s, from a story that was first written as a novel in France in the late 1600s, I think. So, to catch you up in a briefer intro from yesterday, wealthy family, merchant, with 3 sons, 3 daughters, the youngest being Belle, a true beauty. Her name is about her heart and her outward appearance, who's abused by her older sisters, fall into poverty. They go into a small country house. The boys do the farming, and only Belle helps with the work. The merchant gets news that one of his ships has come in. They think that he's going to be wealthy again, but he's in such debt. He loses it. He travels home so forlorn and ends up in the castle of we don't know yet who, but he thinks it's enchanted because, as we finished yesterday, there's a fire in the big hall that welcomes him, and food is set out on the table. He keeps waiting, though. When we left him, he was waiting for someone to appear, because no one has. And so there we go. Are we ready for this, the oldest version of Beauty and the Beast in English? Now, the merchant waited a considerable time, till the clock struck 11, and still nobody came. At last he was so hungry he could wait no longer, so he took some chicken and had it in 2 mouthfuls. He was so hungry, trembling all the while that someone may catch him being ungracious and ungrateful. After this, he drank a few glasses of wine, and growing more and more courageous, he went out of the hall and crossed through several grand apartments filled with magnificent furniture, till he came upon a chamber which had an exceedingly good bed in it. And he was so fatigued, he was much fatigued, and it was now past midnight. He concluded it was best for him to shut the door and go to bed. It was 10 the next morning before the merchant waked, and as he was going to rise, he was astonished to see a good suit of clothes in the room, for his own were quite spoiled. "Certainly," said he, "this palace belongs to some kind of fairy who has seen and pitied my distress." He looked through a window, but instead of the snow, he saw the most delightful arbors interwoven with the beautifulest flowers that were ever beheld. He then returned to the great hall where he had supped the night before, and found some chocolate ready made for him on the table. "Thank you, good, gracious fairy," said he, for being so careful. He wanted to make sure that he was seen as grateful for whoever it was who provided him with his breakfast. "I am extremely obliged to you for all your kind favors." The good man drank his chocolate, and then he went to look for his horse, whom he had left in the manger. But passing through an arbor of roses, he remembered Beauty's request for a rose. So he gathered a branch on which there were several, immediately heard a great voice, and he saw such a frightful beast coming towards him. He was ready to faint away. "You are very ungrateful," said the beast in a terrible voice. "I have saved your life by receiving you into my castle, and in return, you steal my roses, which I value beyond anything in the world. You shall die for this. I give you but a quarter of an hour to prepare yourself and say your prayers." The merchant fell to his knees and lifted up both his hands in supplication. "My lord," said he, I beseech you to forgive me. Indeed, I had no intention to offend. I was gathering a rose for one of my daughters, who desired me to bring her one." "My name is not my lord," said he, "but I am a monster. You must call me Beast. I don't love compliments, not I. I like people should speak as they think, and do not imagine I am to be moved by any of your flattering speech." "But you say you have daughters?" "I will forgive you, if, on condition one of them comes willingly to me to suffer on your behalf. She must come willingly. Let me have no words from you, but go about your business and swear that if your daughter refuses to die in your stead, you will return within 3 months' time." The merchant had no mind to sacrifice one of his daughters, not to this ugly monster, or to anyone for that matter. But he thought, in obtaining this respite, he should have the satisfaction of seeing his children once more. So he promised upon oath he would return in 3 months' time, and the beast told him that he may set out whenever he pleased, but he added, "And you shall not depart empty-handed." "Go back to your room where you lay, and you will find a great empty chest. Fill it with whatever you like. I will send it to your home." And at the same time, the beast withdrew. "Well," said the good man to himself, "if I must die, I shall have the comfort, at least, of leaving something to my poor children." And therein lies the end of part 3, or the 3rd page, of the oldest English version of Beauty and the Beast. The best is yet to come, but it is getting better, isn't it? I'm glad that you've joined me. It's a joy for me to share these stories and poems with you, especially, to be honest, yesterday and today, I've been feeling very sad. And I say this to you because we're entitled to have days of sadness, and I find it's better not to fight them so much as simply to acknowledge that's what we're experiencing. And yet, doing something to treat ourselves when we're sad is a good thing. Today, my treat was anticipating sharing this story with you. So I thank you very much. It really will help. Meanwhile, let us continue to love one another, to be kind, especially to yourself. You're who God made, even if everybody else doesn't treat you quite well, because we are on planet Earth, and not everybody acts the way that's really good. So take care of yourselves, and wear your masks if you go out. And what else? I just want to say God is blessing you all the time. We have to just keep taking the blessings and being grateful, however we might feel on a given time or day. Bye-bye now. Thanks for joining me. God bless.